Okay, my mic was muted, I think. Okay, my mic was muted, I think. Yep, it was. Let me try and fix some of this mic stuff. So that you can actually hear the game. Maybe this will be good. I think that's good. So let me turn down that volume. So I'm going to show you how to wreck. Ha. The funny thing about this is, this can go one of two ways. I'm gonna turn down this volume a little bit on my headset. There we go. You can go like one of two ways. Usually when I use a story deck, the game bricks me hard, which means I can't really play. I get screwed out of a lot. Cyber Dark. What I'm playing right now is a lot more chill. I do have decks on here that are a lot more competitive, so to speak. Why does he have all these cards in here? For the sake of deck thinning, I guess. This card attacks an opponent's monster. Okay. No, wait a minute. Ah, I see. Ah, crap baskets. Well, it was nice knowing you, kids. I'm about to get wrecked. Whee. This makes it look like I don't even know what I'm doing. side of the field. Ah, I need one more card for this. Sorry, I'm coughing a lot. Oh, sweet. Revenge. Ah, crap baskets. I might actually just take the L here. Actually, no. Okay, so... Okay, this card can attack opponent directly if it attacks. Using this effect, attack is had. Fuck, I lost. Read! Look, we're not doing none of this story deck shit. We're going in balls deep. Hoping for the OTK, OTK meaning one turn kill. Pretty much. If I can get the right cards here, then I can kill him in one turn. No contest. Yeah, let's do this. MST that back row. Haha. Absolutely nothing. Do this. Actually, we might be able to do this. No, we won't. I seem to have gotten my numbers mixed up. But anyways. Instead of sitting here spamming detail after detail, whenever anything goes down that you don't quite understand, just go ahead and say and I'll explain. This game is actually a lot of fun. Because you can really... It's okay. It's not really like about knowing the cards, just knowing really the basics of the game. Like, yeah, I can explain to you what my cards do and what his cards do. But as like a sort of an all-around thing, I will say that this game can be very casual and or very competitive, depending on what you're looking for in it. There's really no wrong deck if you're looking at it from a casual standpoint. I'm trying to think, yeah. Looking at it from more of a competitive standpoint, there is a meta, there is like certain cards that are ran. But, you know, I digress. And this will be GG right here. Yeah, if there's anything you want me to explain, there's no stupid questions or anything. I can tell you everything. Anything you want to know. It's all good. Because this game can be either really fast-paced or the slowest thing on the earth, depending on what you're running and what you're going for. I'm low-key learning about the Inuyasha card game. That's actually proving to be quite interesting. But if you want, at some point, I can switch up to another game to stream. That way I can keep things diverse. Oh yeah, I should explain. Pretty much what's going on here is I'm battling through an arc in the story where a certain card is stolen years and years ago, as was said in the text, by a person, and they're learning that the card had an interesting power to it that quite literally has now spawned forth a whole group of people that are sort of, in a sense, brainwashed, and they're following under this one leader. So we're pretty much dueling through these people at points. And I guess in order to bring them back, you have to beat them. And that was like a big part of this like story, like what we're getting into like in the anime. Pretty much, in the grand scheme of things, there's a big boss monster that is sort of doing what Zetsu did, controlling like the timeline of what's going on. And it makes more sense the more you watch and as time goes on. Excuse me. Oh, and I should say, the main character of this Yu-Gi-Oh! Season, or whatever you want to call it, is Jaden Yuki, and he's in no way, shape, or form related to Yugi himself, from what I understand. But there are two other characters in this game, or well, anime, that, from what I understand, they share the same last name as Yugi's grandpa, Truesdale. So I think they're related. But Jaden Yuki's pretty much the one that inherits the same powers that Yugi did during the original, like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Original series. So he's sort of like the poster child of this anime series. Each new one has a new face that, from what I understand, isn't related to Yugi in any way, shape, or form. It's more like, how, like, each Persona game is like a new person that's not related to the last person in any way, shape, or form, but they have that power sort of inherited, I guess you'd say, if that makes sense. I'm gonna show you the cute, fluffy animal deck. You know what? I'm gonna try this. Yeah, I like to read this. No, I did not mean to summon. Frick sticks. He's all good. Would you like me to sort of explain some of this game, like the basics, so it makes a little more sense? And also, I feel like maybe you'd like this deck, because, like, it's got lots of nice animals, and it's actually pretty OP. It's like one of those cute, yet very OP decks. You know, sort of like how you are with Overwatch and stuff. That's good. Honestly, I'm gonna explain the basics of the game so that a lot more of this can make sense. So, to start from basics, you and your opponent both must have decks that consist between 40 minimum to 60 maximum cards. So if you're under or over those amounts, because you can be in between, but if you're under or over those amounts, then it'll be considered cheating and a loss by game rules. Starting out a game, both players shuffle, offer to cut each other's deck. You don't have to cut, but a lot of people do. Sort of the same like with Pokemon. Shuffle, cut. Now, this game is different than Pokemon in the aspect that it does not require mana and or any sort of energy pool to do anything, so to speak. But both players have this thing called life points, which I'm pretty sure you've seen before. In a casual setting, the life points can be anything you want, but in more of like a competitive thing, tournament style thing, your life points will be 8,000 unless the tournament states otherwise. Usually the two formats are 8,000 life points and or 4,000 life points. But as you'll see in a lot of these games, it's just 8,000. So, let me just do this real quick. So pretty much, your goal is to either get your opponent's life points down to 0 through attacking them, dealing damage to them, card effect, etc. Decking them out, like, you know, 0 cards in deck. And then there's the last case scenario, a card effect. You'll learn that with this game, card effects they can be quite godly and can change the course of a game in seconds. But yes, so after the shuffle, the cut, and all that, players set their decks up, and you start off by drawing 5 cards. After you do your rock, paper, scissors, figure out who's going first. Draw your 5 cards. The player going first doesn't draw. It used to be players going first could draw starting turn, but it's changed, just like Magic and Pokemon, I think. But the person who goes first, pretty much, starts off with 5 cards, and as you see in the middle of the screen, you'll see DP, SP, MP1, BP, MP2, then EP. These are the phases of a player's turn, starting with the draw phase. Draw phase is when you draw 1 card from the top of your deck at the beginning of the turn, unless otherwise stated by a card effect. Standby phase is usually around the time when you're checking your field. It's literally a standby phase. It's just you're on standby into going into the main phase because effects can be activated, etc. Then main phase 1. This is where it gets interesting. Main phase 1 is when you can summon your monsters and or activate card effects, activate spell or trap cards, etc. This is where you're doing a lot of your setup. you can, along the lines of summoning, which I'm going to get into, you can only normal summon once unless stated otherwise by a card effect. Once you normal summon, that's it. You can special summon as many times as you want. Whatever you summon your monster in, like whatever position, which is only attack and defense. Attack is this vertical, straight up, horizontal, whatever you want to call it, I think. Vertical, yeah. Vertical, attack, horizontal, defense. You can have a face-up attack position monster. And along the lines of defense, you can have a face-up defense monster or face-down defense. Attack and defense are on the bottom right-hand corner of the monster card. Sorry if this is taking long, but I'm going to take it step by step as I do each phase. Now that you have a setup field, the player that goes first cannot conduct their battle phase. So they skip into main phase to an end phase, or they can just end, whatever. For turn 2, like second player, they will do the same thing that the first player did, except they'll get to draw a card, set their field up, and then go into battle phase. After setting up the main field during main phase 1, getting all your effects off, which I'll demonstrate, stuff like this. You want to set up your field to your maximum advantage, to where you have all the upper hand, and your opponent has nothing. As you see, I normal summon there. I can no longer normal summon. I can only really special summon unless stated otherwise by card effect. But now that I have a setup field, and he's wide open, I'm going to want to go to battle phase. Battle phase. This is when you can attack and deal out all your damage through your attacks, and or destroy opponent's monsters. Now, what you're about to see is me winning the game, but I think next game I can show you. Pretty much, this is the phase for you to attack and activate any cards that have anything to do with the battle phase. Battle phase is solely for you to battle and activate effects within that, that range or whatever, in this phase. Pretty much, your goal is to, like I said, get your opponent to 0 life points through your battle phase. Unless you're running a certain deck that says otherwise. Sorry if this isn't making sense, it'll start to make more sense. I'll show you again. Now everything that I said before will start to come in hand. Or start to come whatever. For this, we'll go first, just to show you. Sorry if this is a lot. It's easier for me to just show it like this. Okay, so like I said, I'm the first turn player. As you see, I did my 5 cards, were already set up. Draw phase, I didn't draw, since I'm the beginning player. Standby phase, I had nothing to do, so skips through that. Now main phase. My main phase, like I said before, I can summon and or activate effects, special summon, set or activate spell and trap cards, stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is summon a card. Now, I feel I can get into differentiating the cards. Now that you know some of that basic, see, there are 3 types of cards in the game: monster cards, spell cards, and trap cards. Those are the 3 different cards. A monster card, as you see on the field currently, right here, pertains a name, like it has its specific name. It has its type, like spellcast right there, its type, its attribute, which is in the top right hand corner for wind, its level, and this is a special kind of monster. This is a pendulum monster. I won't get into detail about that stuff, I'm only going to get into detail about the basics, but as you see, a monster has an attack and a defense. Its attack is 100, defense 1800. What this means is, when I attack, if I attack anything, in order for me to get through, it has to be 100 even, and or below 100. Unless I'm attacking directly, then I can just attack directly. My defense is 1800, so in order for this card, while in defense position, to be destroyed outside of a card effect, something has to attack it with more than 1800 attack. If that makes sense. This is, before I do that, this is considered an effect monster. It says it. It's the third after the second backslash. It says effect because it has an effect underneath all that subtyping stuff. The really small text you see, it has a card effect. It is an effect monster. Effect monsters have different effects, but this deck sort of revolves around the idea that when you normal summon or special summon these cards, their effect will activate. Now, going down to my hand. This is a trap card. Trap cards are indicated by being purple, like this purple. Trap cards cannot be activated right away. They have to be set first. Then after that, after you end your turn, you can activate it whenever. As you see, it gives me no indicator to activate, only set. Usually as the first turn player, you're going to be doing a lot of setup. So, now that I've rambled, I will show you everything I said. Now that I'm set up, I cannot attack, so I just end. Do not mind this monster's effect. It is simply to search my deck for another one with that Magispector name. Sorry if this is a lot to take in. But yes, as you've seen, I want to clear that out of the way. As you've seen, he got to draw. During his main phase, he summoned, but you notice he activated this card. This is a spell card. Spell cards can be activated during your turn, and depending on the type of spell card, it can be activated whenever after being set. But as you've seen, he activated a spell card. Now, I'm gonna let this play out so you can start to get it. And if there are any parts that confuse you, I can explain. I guess I should get into details about summoning. There's normal summoning, special summoning, like I said. I showcased to you what normal summoning was. Now I'm showcasing you what special summoning is. Special summoning, as you see, summons a card directly to the field in any position I want it. After a card is summoned, either special summoned or normal summoned or set, you cannot change the battle position until after. Battle position means if either the card is vertical, horizontal, or upside down horizontal. That is your battle position. Remember this. Attack facing vertical, defense facing horizontal. I have a free normal summon, so a normal summon, activate effect. Okay. Now I can go into battle, and as you see, there's no summoning sickness in this game or anything. As soon as you summon a monster and you go into battle phase, you can attack right away, unless stated otherwise by card effect. So, I'm just gonna swing in with all this. Main phase 2, because I think I might have something to do. No, I don't. End turn. I thank you for being here. I've always wanted to honestly do this. And then, you know, maybe get us into something new. At least new for you, maybe? Sorry if this gets boring. If at any point it gets boring, just tell me and I'll switch it up. But once you really get the basics down, there's not too much to it. Like, it starts to make more sense when you learn the basics. And then I can get into more stuff like pendulum monsters and stuff like that. Just summon this unicorn. Ah yes, I should say placements of cards. Alright, now the game now is a lot different for the field setup, but as you see, both of our fields, the placements mirror each other. Here's the deck, where I'm pointing to right now. That is the spot for the deck. Your main deck, I should say. This is where your main deck is set. The graveyard is right in front of it. Well, without the whole pendulum scale here in between, it's technically in front of your deck instead of behind it or to the side. So graveyard would be up here. If you see the number values, it's telling me how many are in my graveyard, which is 3, how many are in my main deck, which is 29, how many are in my extra deck, which is 6. So, main deck, graveyard. Graveyard is where all your cards go to after being discarded, destroyed on the field, or used. As you see right next to it is the removed from play zone, or aka banished. Pretty much, that banishes it from the game. It cannot be used for the rest of the game unless a card effect states otherwise. Looking at the main field now, you've got these 5 slots on top, 5 slots on bottom. Remember this, top is monster, bottom is spell and trap. These little 2 slots off to the side are pendulum scale zones. This is where I can place pendulum monsters to make a scale. I'll get in more detail about that later. Right over here in the top left is a field spell card zone. Only field spells can go here. And then as you see in the bottom left-hand corner, very bottom, extra deck. This is where all your extra deck monsters go. Alright. Now that you know that, done my stuff. So I'm gonna go to battle phase. I know it's a lot to take in, but it's just one of those things where just a little bit of time, all it takes. It's nothing too crazy. I think it's very simple. Now, with a lot of these story decks, they're more casual play than actually being considered competitive tournament build kind of stuff. I was heavily into competitive Yugioh at one point, and it was like any time I played, it was tryhardsville, and you either had to play the #1 deck or although I got to a point where I got good enough that I could play a casual deck and set it up just right so that I beat the crap out of these #1 meta decks. Ah yes, this is the deck that I want. So I'm going to beat the other crap out of them. Now this deck that I'm using, I like it because they put thought into the cards, and the deck that I'm using is a reference to The Wizard of Oz and Star Wars. You'll see. If you see the cards and stuff. Sorry about that. I just didn't want to, you know, keep you in the stream and then you not really knowing, and then things be like stupidly confusing. But knowing the basics, it'll make more sense what these cards are doing. Oh man. And this is game. I'm gonna do this duel, then I'm gonna like go to the bathroom, take a little break to let my phone charge. This is also the guy I've been wanting to duel. Beautiful. This duel went fast. I might actually just do one more after this. After this one, I'll take a little break. Easy clap. Easy clap. Alright. Taking a little break.